Okay, so now we'll try to configure transactional replication with updating subscribers, by which we mean that the subscribers will have the capability to perform updates on the subscribed records, and this in turn would mean that all the records that a subscriber is changing will also transactionally be changed across the entire the publication subscription setup. That means all the other subscribers and all the other and the publisher itself will have the updates that is being done by one of the subscribers. So let's look into it. I have cleaned up all the prior publications that we had set up, so I will just try to set up a transactional replication with updating subscribers on the student table of test db. So the second sorry, the default instance of the, yeah, it looks something, yeah, the test db students table looks something like this. There are 5 records. We'll try and create, so we will say new publication. So next is, yeah, and before that there are two things I would like to say. For this kind of replication setup, we ought to have two things in place for us. That is, our MSDTC should be up and running, distributed transaction coordinator. So we have to get this up and running. This is red, which means it is not running now. So the first thing we need to do is get this running in place. So this, it should be running across all the servers. To get this thing up and running, we have to go to the control panel, and system security, administrative tools, computer services, sorry, component services, and yeah, once this opens up, we can select the computers. Here in my computer properties, if will find MSDTC. So here we have to use the local coordinator and apply that service to be. So once that is applied, we'll find the distributed transaction coordinator up and running. So it is running now for us. So it is important to have this setup done. So once this is up and running, next is to have a linked servers for the subscribers, as the subscribers will be updating. So all the subscribers need to have a link server set up to the publisher. So we are having second and third instance as the subscribers in this current configuration. So we'll have created link servers. So let's I'll just check and see if that link server is currently working. So link server for Keshav Singh, it's for the default instance. So that should be connected and should be working. Okay, this is the link server using the default current login security. So, and let's also test this connection. So this is okay. Next we have the third instance. We'll check that here is also. Here we have the link servers. We'll just test the connection. That is in place. So these are the two dependencies which are important before configuring the updating subscribers replication. So now we can start with the publication. So new publication. Next we'll have test db, we'll use with updatable subscriptions. We will use student database, and yeah, and additionally to the table, whatever columns are there, you'll for uniquely identifying the columns, SQL Server will add a GUID column, that is global unique identifier column, to the existing table. That we'll see later. I'll explain it later. We'll move on to the next, and we don't want any filters to be added, so we'll say current snapshot immediately. Okay, so that snapshot is created, and we'll use the service account SQL agent and queue reader. Queue reader agent will be initialized here, as all the changes for the subscribers will be queued into the distributor, and for being reapplied to all the other subscriptions and the publisher. So here additionally a queue reader account, agent will be used. There will be three agents: snapshot agent, log reader agent, and the queue reader agent. Snapshot agent will provide initialize the subscription with the snapshot. Log reader will make all the transactional changes from the publisher to the subscribers, and the queue reader agent will queue all the changes from the subscriber if there is any change updates happening from the subscriber end. Next we can move on and say create publication. We'll name it as test db pubs. We'll say updatable and say finish. And this will create the publication, add the articles, and start the snapshot initial snapshot agent. The important thing to be kept in mind here is that the record that is the updates will be happened on the transaction, each of the transaction, and not on the entire snapshot. Unlike in the merge replication, we'll see that in the merge replication, there it happens on the entire snapshot. So let's say it's done. Next we'll have to create subscriptions. Now while creating subscription, we'll say new subscription, and we'll use, since the publication is on the default instance, we will use that and say pull. This time we'll just have a demo about the pull subscriptions. This is actually on as per need basis, so that the subscribers can pull it whenever they require. Last time we had seen about the push subscription. Okay, now let's move on and say sample db, and next okay, say next, simultaneously commit the changes, and next. Here it will ask for the link server. If there is not a link server has not already been defined, you can define it here. Since we already have it in place, we'll use the existing link server. Okay, so now say next, and this will create your subscription at the second instance. Similarly, we'll also create a subscription on the third instance. Let's do that. Okay, that has been created. So let's just have a look before we go ahead in the second instance and the sample db. Now if we do that, we will see the class 10 students records. Additionally, we have one more record, as as one more column. As I said, this is a GUID column which uniquely identifies the records. If we now see in the default instance as well on the test db, we will find that it has been there. Now the GUID is will be similar across all the subscribed and published records. This the GUID value for this row for Rohan student will be same as all across. Now we will create one more subscription. see a new subscription, and now use the default instance, connect to it. We'll pull it this time and put it into workdb and use the SQL Server agent. Next, run continuously, use the existing link server and immediately, and we'll say next and finish. This will complete our updating subscriber transactional replication. Right, we are done. Now if we have a look at the third instance, workdb, so it's the data has already been there. Now let's make a change on the first instance. Let's insert a record. Okay, we'll have to provide the column name explicitly, I guess. So we will say number, comma, name, comma, class, comma, house. Alright, let's try to insert it now. Yeah, that's done now. Now yeah, so Martin has been added. If we go ahead and have a look, the the log reader agent will apply it all across. Yeah, it has been applied all across. Okay, now let's try and update something so that we get to know if that update is happening all across the other subscription and the publishers as well. So let's perform an update on x1, student x1, with the value yyyy, or with the value test. Let's put a value test name for x1 roll number. And right, so if we have a look, we had implemented on the third instance. If we have a look, test name has been updated. Let's see if that gets updated now in the second instance and the publisher itself. Like, so the second instance, we can see it has been updated. Also, let's see on the publisher end. Right, we can see the publisher end has also got updated. Now let's try and make a few changes again on. Let's perform an update from the publisher's end. For x2, we'll just try this time. This is from the publisher end, we are just trying to do it. So x2 has been updated, right, and next we can see it if that has been propagated, that has got propagated across. Right, we can see that. Now something I wanted to say, a transaction happen, an update happens simultaneously at both the ends, at the subscriber end and at the publisher end, or two subscribers update the same record simultaneously. What will happen? Which will take precedence? That is a question to be noted here. In that case, I'll just try and show the configurations here. If we go in the article, and for this article, if we see the properties, sorry, let me just yeah, on the options. Right, in the subscription option, we here we will see that conflict resolution policy. This is an important one. Like if there is a conflict between the records getting updated by two subscribers or one subscriber and one publisher, simultaneously multiple subscribers, uh, the publisher change will take precedence if it is happening simultaneously. We can additionally change, keep it into one of them. We can say reinitialize the entire subscription, or say that keep the subscribers change. So whatever we define here, this is the place where the conflict resolution takes place. If it is happening, if at all it happens simultaneously, since it is on a transactional level, one record or two records level, it is kind of very rare scenario which where it will happen. It is not on the complete snapshot level. So here it is by default publisher change. That was one thing I wanted to show you. Additional, and one more thing was the records will have, the table will have one more column added to it, which will be the GUID, global unique identifier. And here this is one of the ways actually where the railway reservation system works, something like this. All the other subscribers are the reservation centers, various reservation centers, and the primary, the publisher is nothing but the actual server, centralized server, which actually holds the database. So this is something like whether bookings are done and updated for various customers. So that was transactional replication happening with updatable subscribers. Next we'll move on to snapshot uh, replication. Before we move on to the next one, we'll just try and see the replication monitor where this has been set up. Now we'll just have a look at it, what all agents and the services that are running for this replication. So this is the replication we have set. It has been subscribed by these two, and the agents that are running are here: the snapshot agent, the log reader, and the queue agent. Now if there is an error on any of the subscribers end, you can double click this and you'll get the history of all the last synchronizations. It will show you all the details of every time there is a record that is getting bulk copied or anything. So all the changes or any errors will be listed here. If you double click it, you will get all the synchronizations and all the changes here. So that was one thing I wanted to show. So let's move on to snapshot replication. Thank you.